Hello, and welcome to another session on using the new Blender for video editing. Today we're going to talk about a few things that I've covered in my Blender 2.79 playlist. Some of the things that were in the old Blender, but also some new features. Let's get started. So I'm going to click on video editing from the splash screen, and now it opens up to the new custom workspace that I had just created in the previous video, but I'm going to go back to video editing. So this is looks more familiar to everybody. One of the first new things that's different between the old Blender is that they've changed within the video sequence editor how the add menu looks. So when you go here, it's actually much nicer in that it's basically grouped by what kind of thing you're adding. So before, for example, the color strip, text, those were all they were all kind of hidden away under effect strips. But now, effect strip is really just effects. And if you wanted a color, it's right here. You can just add that and then do what you will with it. Or if you were to add movies, video files, that's right there, sound, an image sequence. So let's go ahead and add a movie now, as I can show you something that's different. So I'm going to go pick a folder, and I'll pull up this Cintel video. Okay, and I'll just drag it over to here. Okay, yeah, there we go. In the new Blender, just like the old Blender, as soon as you load a video file into the video sequence editor, the frame rate will be detected from that. And inside of your properties, if I scroll this down, you'll see it'll automatically get set to that frame rate. But just like the old Blender, the resolution of your scene does not automatically get set. So this is the default 1920 by 1080. So to easily change the resolution of your scene so that it matches to your input video file, what you can do is start by selecting your video strip in the video sequence editor, and then going up to strip and go to movie strip, and then set render size. As soon as you do that, now you can see over here inside of our properties, it has been set to the width and the height of our video. So that's one thing that's different from the old Blender. So one nice new feature in the new Blender is the ability to do a fade in or fade out or both with just a few clicks of the mouse. So let me start this by prepping our material here. So I'm going to select all of this stuff. I'm going to cut here, and I'll bring this to the front. There we go. Just some hotkeys there. And also cut it over here so we can easily see what's going on just within this screen. Okay, and I will set the end point over here and drag that up, and then there we go. So that is our frame range. All right. So now with this video strip selected, what we can do is go to the Add menu, and at the bottom, we've got all our different fade options here. So I'll start with fade in and out. When I click on that, you can see, you can visually see on the strip that there's this curve happening here, and that's the fade in happening, and then also here at the end. So if I just scrub across, you can see it slowly fades in, and then over here, slowly fades out. And the neat thing about this, two things. Okay, first of all, it's set to do it the transition for 1 second, regardless of the frame rate. And the other thing is that the way it does it is by setting keyframes. So you can see here, over here, the opacity field is now green, and that's an indication that keyframes are in use. And again, meaning that I can use the up and down keys to jump between the different points where the keyframes are set. So in fact, this is like a handy starter. If I only wanted it to go from a certain value, I can start by using that fade in command and then go in here and tweak the values. Like maybe I didn't want a full fade out, maybe just like 50%, and I'll hit the I key. So now it goes down to 50% worth by the time we hit the end. Right, so let me undo all this stuff so that I can show you the other settings. And to do that, I'm just going to right click here and get rid of all the keyframes. So we're back to where we started. Oh, except now I have to set it back, force it to 100% opacity. There we go. All right, so now let's look at the other options. So fade in and fade out, as you might guess, it's just doing just the fade in or the fade out. So we can move on to these other ones. From current frame and to current frame. So the first one is that it'll do a fade out starting at the current position. So let's say I don't want it to be 1 second. Maybe I want it to be, like a 3 seconds, starting at the 5 second mark until 8 seconds. So from here, with the time cursor at this point, I can go to add, fade, from current frame. All right, so now that I've done that, as I scrub across, you can see it's a much more gradual fade out. So same deal with the other fade option. So let's say I wanted a 2 second fade in. So I'll put the time cursor here, and then I go to add, fade, to current frame. So now if I jump to the beginning, and I'll just hit the play button this time, you can see it's a 2 second fade in followed by a 3 second fade out using those options that I had set. Okay, and that's it. So the changes to how you add different things into your video sequence editor, how to easily set the render size for your scene, and how to make use of the fade in and fade out. Hope you liked that. If you did, please do give it a like and subscribe so you can see more content when it comes. Thanks, and talk to you later. Bye now.